I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Joseph. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting pretty much any other type of videos or topics or reactions or anything in between, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now this is a request where you wanted me to talk about DMX, mainly his filmography, his movies. Now for those who don't know, DMX passed away. I don't know if this is true, but apparently it was a heart attack or a stroke or something, perhaps from an overdose. Again, I can't know for certain, but he was about 50 years old, which is too young. I can't sit here and say I followed his career vehemently. I didn't. I knew of him. I liked some of his songs, whether it be Party Up in Here, whether it be No Sunshine. My favorite being It's Gonna Give It to You. And of the films he's been in, I've probably only seen, I guess technically 5. Just Belly. If I saw that, I don't remember the movie, honestly. I might have seen Belly, but I don't remember much about it. Romeo Must Die, he had a bit part in it. It's a Jet Li film I don't mind. It's like a 3 out of 5 star film for me. I mean, it has a lot of the wire fu stuff, which I'm not big on. I prefer Jet Li more in the Kiss of the Dragon, Fist of Legend type of way. But I liked Aliyah. Some of the soundtrack was nice to listen to. Some of the humor, like when he plays the football, has the football scene with Anthony Anderson. It's still fun. It's still entertaining. DMX was there as a guy who ran the club, and he doesn't have a big part in the movie, but he worked for what he had to do. I guess someone saw some potential, because then you'd have Exit Wounds. Definitely a much bigger part, where you have Steven Seagal as well as DMX. And I like Exit Wounds. Now, it's not my favorite Steven Seagal film, but it's better than any of the shit Seagal has done in the past 20 years. Well, technically that was 20 years ago. Because that was like 2001, I believe, Exit Wounds. Wow. Wow, really? Was that 2001? I think so. Damn. It was around that time. And DMX plays Latrell Walker, where you think he's a criminal, but there's a lot more to him. And there's a reason why he's doing this stuff, and he's very rich, and he knows a lot about... There's more to him than meets the eye. And granted, as a Steven Seagal film, it has a bit of that wire work that you would see in Romeo Must Die, which I know Seagal wasn't a fan of. And to be honest, I can understand because that's not really his wheelhouse. But it was nice to see him in another big budget movie. This is after stuff like The Patriot. A little quick to direct-to-video land. This seemed like, oh, this could be the comeback for Seagal because it was Warner Brothers yet again after... Because films like Undeadly Ground and Fire Down Below, Glimmer Man, which I enjoy, but they were not successful films. But this film was successful. It was a decent-sized hit. And I remember the trailer when this came out. You had the DMX song, "Ain't no sunshine when it's gone, only darkness every day," which I like that song, or that cover of the song that DMX does. And it was entertaining. You had Tom Arnold and Anthony Anderson in supporting roles like they would do later in Cradle to the Grave. And Steven Seagal had some funny moments. You see this face? This is my happy face. It's funny, I did that in a video and someone caught on like, hey, that's like when Steven... I'm like, that was cool that that guy noticed. That was... Because with that film, it's a movie where the budget was on the screen. It moved at a good enough pace. I could do without a bit of the wire foo stuff, like when Steven Seagal's in the bar. And he's doing like this flip cartwheel over a guy. Or when these carjackers are attacking Steven Seagal. And he does this bit. And you can tell the guy hits his... Like, you'd almost tell there's a wire on him. It's supposed to raise his leg up. And it's like, yeah, that's not Seagal's spiel. That's not his forte. But when he's not doing that, he's doing his typical thing. Like, that was more of his wheelhouse. I did at the beginning with the bridge and the helicopter sequence. It's nice to see there's a bit of scope. I didn't compare to Seagal's last film, The Patriot. And DMX did a good job. He did a good enough job. He did what he was supposed to do. He wanted to do this because his brother was in jail. He wanted to get his brother out of jail. You know, I'm my brother's keeper. He had a believability to him because you buy DMX as tough. You buy him as this guy that you want to mess with. With his voice, he had a certain grit to his voice that he had in his songs. That's why he did that growl, that growl sound. And yeah, Edge of Wounds he did fine. Same with Cradle to the Grave. And Cradle to the Grave I actually saw in the theater. Because I saw the trailer in the theater, and I don't remember what movie it was in front of. I could not think of... Because I remember seeing a film in the theater, and then seeing the trailer to Cradle to the Grave, and I went, wow, this was like a lot of fun. It was fun, but the trailer... The trailer to Cradle to the Grave is one of the best edited trailers. When you look at the second half of that trailer. If I did a list of top 20 trailers, not films, trailers, Cradle to the Grave would be in there. Like, you look at the second half of that trailer, and the way it's edited, to the beats of the song, something that's supposed to get you hyped up to see a movie. It's like you look at the trailer to Cliffhanger, look at the trailer to The Transporter 1 and 2. Like, these are well-constructed trailers. I like those movies as well, but I'm just saying for the best constructed trailers. To really get your adrenaline pumping to go see a film. They would definitely be on the list. And when I saw the movie, yeah, a lot of it's kind of typical with the plot. Something about these black diamonds, but there's more to them than meets the eye. You have DMX and his crew. They steal jewels. But then you have Jet Li. He wants to get to Mark Dacascos, who's our bad guy. I enjoy the scene where Jet Li fights the UFC fighters. I think that's a very entertaining sequence. You have the bit with DMX where he's on the four-wheeler. Now, I thought in the trailer, those would only be two separate scenes. I didn't know they'd be part of the same scene, and I do think that's... Although that's had to do with them meshing those two together. When you get to the third act, when you have like 4 fight scenes, and we're coming from this to this to this to this, that was an issue I had. Tis that also hampered, like, oh, this is Jet Li and Mark Dacascos doing a fight. Well, I would... Either a lot of it was cut out, or the way it just kept getting in and out of that fight, because now we were DMX, and his fight was shitty with this, whoever the fuck he was. I don't even remember. And then his DMX's girlfriend is having a fight with another chick. And then Tom Arnold, Anthony Anderson, they're doing their thing. And it didn't need to keep switching back to all these different little battles happening. I think that dampered things. That dampered timing, momentum. Just if you're getting into something, oh, now you're with this. Then you're with this. Oh, we're finally back to this. Now I have to get into headspace again of this fight. Oh, now I'm taken out because now we're over here. Now we're over here again. That's not how you do fights. You get sucked into it. You don't leave for another minute or two, then you get back. It's like, no, you've lost the momentum. So Cradle to the Grave has his issues. Again, the plot with the diamonds, where the fuck they were, but they're also to be used for weaponry. I did Jet Li and DMX, they did their jobs well. The soundtrack, I love External Divinity. Before Deadpool used it, Cradle to the Grave did it first. I'm trying to remember if he wrote the song for the movie, Cradle to the Grave. He might have written it for the movie. Because I think the song does play during the scene where Jet Li's fighting the UFC guys, and then cut to DMX being chased by the cops while he's on the four-wheeler. The best scene in the movie. But yeah, DMX, he did fine the acting. He seemed natural for what he was supposed to do. As I almost want to say a street thug, but there was more to him again in Edged Wounds, even in Cradle to the Grave. But I think your bomb is tough. I would put him above 50 Cent. Because 50 Cent, he has this thing where he just has this sort of dazed look on his face with his teeth showing. Like DMX, he didn't seem tough. He was tough. He didn't try to make you believe he was a tough guy. It's like, no, I bought him. I thought he had a good voice for those type of characters as well. And in Cradle to the Grave, he played the character Anthony Fate. And again, his acting was fine. I've seen much, much worse. Much worse. Vanilla Ice and Cool as Ice, for example. Never Die Alone, I don't remember much about. I remember not caring for the film, though. I remember not being a fan of Never Die Alone. And the other films I didn't see, Father of Lies, Death Toll, Lord of the Street, Lockjaw, Rise of the Kuliv Serpent. Top 5, I vaguely remember, because that's a Chris Rock comedy. And DMX plays himself because Chris Rock's character gets put in jail. And he looks over these DMX. You're here? Yeah, I pretty much live in here. In the jail cell. Because that's the thing with DMX, is that he didn't do a lot of movies, because like Edge of Wounds, Cradle to the Grave, but I think You'll Never Die Alone, that film didn't do well, and then his drug problems, and then in and out of jail quite a few times, that really hindered a lot of stuff. I mean, the last thing he was in, I think, was that film Beyond the Law, which I reviewed, which was a really shitty, lo and behold, a shitty direct-to-video Steven Seagal film. And I know DMX did not work with Steven Seagal in Exit Wounds, That's why DMX really has no scenes with Seagal and Beyond the Law, because DMX hated... Apparently DMX liked working with Jet Li, but he hated working with Steven Seagal. That's what I've heard. Which, I'm not surprised. Because you don't really have people having issues working with Jet Li. And then Steven Seagal, you always hear people having issues. And Beyond the Law, it wasn't DMX's fault. I still don't think he did a good job in it, but the script, the direction, the lame-ass story, the boring action, nothing to save that movie, Beyond the Law. So, and DMX played a crooked detective in that. Which, honestly, anybody could have played it. Seems like the only reason they hired him was, oh my god, you remember Exit Wounds? That DMX Steven Seagal, so does this. Do they share any scenes? No. DMX really doesn't have much to do, which is kind of a waste. So again, his filmography was fairly short. I mean, I'm looking at this: Belly, Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds, Trail to the Grave, Never Die Alone, Father of Lies, Death Toll, Last Hour, Lords of the Street, originally titled Jump Out Boys, Lockjaw, Rise of the Kulev Serpent. Lockjaw, that sounds like a cartoon. The Bleeding, Teen Dog, almost thought I said King Dawn, Blame It on the Hustle, a cameo in Top 5, Pimp, that's the movie called Pimp, and Beyond the Law. It's not much of, I mean, really the most, Exit Wounds and Cradle to the Grave are the ones I could talk about the most. And both films I enjoyed. And both from the same director, who would go on to direct the 2005 Doom movie. And again, they were not... Well, Romeo Must Die, I should say 3. Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds, Cradle to the Grave. Romeo Must Die is like, well, he had a 5-minute role in that. But again, technically he's in it. So those 3 films. I liked all 3 films. I thought all 3 films were fun for what they are. Fucking masterpieces compared to shit today. Sad to say. Yeah, they had their issues with the wire work, which I don't think was really needed, but it's trying to be this melody of hip hop and martial arts, and they all have their good points. Like I said, Romeo Must Die. I liked Aliyah, some of the Jet Li fight scenes. That one did the scene with the X-ray, which I thought that was done better in what's that movie? Riccio, the story of... If you haven't ever seen Riccio, the live-action film, look it up. Riki-OH, Riccio, the story of Ricky. That's a pretty damn good movie. And that did the X-ray thing I thought cooler than in Romeo Must Die. But I mean, it was interesting change of pace. In Exit Wounds, better than Seagal's next film, which was fucking Half Past Dead, which I guess that was supposed to be... I would assume they're supposed to be DMX, but then they got Ja Rule. They do have DMX in the trailer. I'm a bang, know my motherfucking name. That's a bang, bang, bang. I like that song too. Half Past Dead sucks though. And it wasn't Ja Rule's fault, it was everything else. Steven Seagal not giving a fuck in that movie either. Right, and Exit Wounds seemed like he gave a little bit of a fuck, to be honest. Although, again, the fight between him and Michael Jai White... some interesting swordplay. But it's not like one of Michael Jai White's best fights. I'll take the fight he has with Van Damme in Universal Soldier: The Return over... But, I mean, with that said, the fight in Exit Wounds is better than some of the shit I've seen. So, I could deal with it for what it is. So again, all 3 films are fun. Cradle to the Grave, again, they're not masterpieces, but they're entertaining. 3.5 star out of 5 time wasters. Why? What's with the stars? Because on Letterboxd, on a tangent, I've been trying to do the star thing on Letterboxd. It's a website where you can rate movies, and then if you logged in, there's a list of all the movies you rated. I'm trying to do that more because it's fun. So like Romeo Must Die, I would give like a 3-star. Edge of Wounds, Cradle to the Grave, probably 3.5 stars out of 5. Like they're fun films. They're not like favorites of mine, but they're entertaining. And again, Edge of Wounds, I don't know if I saw in the theater, but Cradle to the Grave, I did see it. It was fun at the movie theater. But yeah, with that said, rest in peace to DMX. Sad that happened to him. Again, I can't sit here and say I'm a big fan in the fact that I followed his career. But it's one of those that he pops up, oh yeah, I like that song. I like a couple of his songs. Oh yeah, I like a couple movies he was in. It's too bad. So, rest in peace to DMX. Condolences to his friends and family. It does make me want to rewatch Edge of Wounds again. And Cradle to the Grave. If I have a bunch of requests to get to though. But if I ever make some extra time, I like to rewatch those again. I think I have them on DVD. I don't think I have them on Blu-ray. But anyway. Don't get off tangent again. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.